All right, on today's episode of Python Papi, we're back inside our smart contracts project. Let's have a look at what we're going to be going over today. Now we're still inside our Natspec Docstrings module, so let's pick up with some light reading and move forward. So now that we have set our constant variable in this way, we can delete it from our constructor as it is no longer needed there. Now this is what our smart contract will look like now. So you can see here we have all of our nat specs here, minus the pragma, because it's not considered a nat spec if you remember. Let's go down so I can actually show you our states or stores here. So we have minimum USD, which is a constant. You can tell by the all capital letters. We have our price feed. We have our owner. We have our funders. We have our funder to amount funded. Then we have our deploy here, which is going to hold our constructor method. So you can see here, our minimum USD is no longer located in our constructor. As you can see, because we have it initiated here with our constant minimum USD, and we set that to the as wave value of 5 ETH. So this is where we set our minimum USD value to $5, and we no longer need it in our, or to deploy it in our constructor method. So that's why we removed it altogether. And that's what it will look like inside of our actual live contract. It will get initiated up here when we initialize the minimum USD to a constant and set it as a UNT 256. And this is the rest of our contracts here. That was pretty much everything we went over. Let's say constant variables are not considered storage variables, which is another reason why we have to update the variables to include the constant or immutable classification. Actually, constants and immutables are not considered storage variables. Since it's not a storage variable, when we look over the rest of our code, we will notice that we now have an error in our fund function. This is because we are still using the self keyword to reference our minimum USD variable, which is reserved for storages and states, which our variable no longer is. So we must update our small contract to reflect that our variable is now a constant. We can do that by doing this. So you see we have assert message.value is greater than or equal to minimum USD, must spend more ETH. So initially it was self dot minimum USD, but as you can see, we got rid of the self and we just capitalized the minimum USD to let our contract know that this is a constant and we're going to be using it in this way. So we no longer have to use that self dot keyword. That's basically where we at for today. We're going to leave it there. Like I said, I don't want to move too far ahead and get you lost in transition. So we're going to leave it there. Like I said, we got rid of the selves. We no longer need the self keyword because we're not using it as a state or storage anymore. We're using it as a constant. And with the constant, we just capitalize every letter inside of the variable to let our contract know that it is going to operate as a constant or an immutable. But in this case, this one is a constant. So we're going to leave it like this. So that's what we have for today. Tomorrow we will pick back up. And of course, I will keep you posted every step of the way. But for now, this is the Python Papi. You guys stay Gucci.